I'm gonna show to you, my fellow chessers, the chess game between Magnus Carlsen and Gukesh in SuperUnited Rapid and Blitz Croatia 2025. Blitz round number 4 or Blitz 4, my fellow chessers. So let's begin on e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5. So this is Rui Lopez, my fellow chessers. Rui Lopez opening, bishop b5 attacking the knight on c6. Knight f6. So this is Rui Lopez Berlin defense, my fellow contestants attacking the pawn on e4. D3. So this is anti-Berlin defense, my fellow contestants. D3. All right, Rui Lopez at the same time. Bishop c5. Knight c3. Oops. Why Magnus Carlsen didn't take the knight? If knight bishop takes knight and then d takes c6 and then we have knight takes e5, we have queen to d4. As you can see, my fellow chessers attacking, threatening checkmate on f2 at the same time attacking the knight on e5 squares, my fellow chessers. All right, so that's why Magnus Carlsen didn't take that. All right. So let's continue the real game, my fellow chessers. Knight c3, castles kingside, bishop takes c6, d takes c6, bishop e3. Why Magnus Carlsen didn't take? Because if knight takes e5, as you can see, queen to d4, as you can see, threatening checkmate on f at the same time attacking the knight on f e5 e5. If bishop e3, queen takes d4 e5, we have d4, we have go here, then d takes c5, and then as you can see, knight takes, and then knight takes, and then queen takes e4. As you can see, my fellow chessers, this is drawish line, my fellow chessers. All right, but let's continue the real game, my fellow chessers. All right, wait, my fellow chessers. All right. Bishop e3, bishop d6 defending the pawn on e5. Bishop g5 attacking the knight on f6 at the same time, pinning the queen on d8, my fellow chessers, or knight h6 attacking the bishop on h3 squares, my fellow chessers, g5, g5 squares, bishop h4, bishop g4 attacking the knight on f3 squares, my fellow chessers, at the same time, pinning the queen or knight on f3 squares. h3 attacking the bishop on g4. Bishop takes f3, queen takes f3, bishop e7. Wow. Bishop takes f6, bishop takes f6, g3. Wow. Queen d7, that's the idea of queen d7. If Magnus Carlsen castle here, we have to take this, my fellow contestants, or this is free. Or Magnus Carlsen castle here on g8 or g5 or kingside, my fellow contestants. This pawn is free on h3 squares, my fellow contestants. h4, bishop e7, castles kingside. Right? Bishop c5 attacking the f2 squares, creating pressure. King g2, bishop g4 attacking the knight on c3 squares, my fellow chessers. Knight e2 attacking the bishop on d4. Bishop b6. Why Gukesh didn't take the pawn on b2 squares? If take, like, for example, bishop takes b2, we have rook a b1 and bishop a3. If bishop a3, we have rook b7 or rook takes b7, my fellow chessers. All right, so let's continue the real game. All right, wait, my fellow chessers. Bishop b6, g4, g6, knight h, knight g3. What's the idea? To go here. All right, so let's continue the game. Queen e7 attacking the pawn on h4 squares or h4 pawn. As you can see, rook h1 defending the pawn on h4. Rook a d8. Ooh, go here or go here, something like that. A4, a5, queen to e2. What's the deal? Queen e2 to go here to attack this pawn on h6 squares. Let's see, my fellow chessers. Rook d8, rook d6. Ooh. Queen d2 attacking the pawn on h6 squares or h6 pawn. King to g7 defending the pawn on h6. h4, queen g5 attacking the queen on d2, my fellow chessers. All right. Magnus Carlsen take, queen takes g5, h takes g5, knight f1. What's the idea of knight f1? Go here on knight f1, go here on d2, to go here to getting for this side. Which, all right, so let's see. Rook f6 attacking the pawn on f2 squares my fellow chessers. f3, rook f4, h takes g6, f takes g6, rook h3. What's the idea of rook h3? Because as you can see, the rook is attacking the pawn on f3, my fellow chessers. Rook h8. Mistake or blunder of Gukesh, my fellow chessers. The best continuation on this position is bishop d4 to attack this pawn on b2, or rook 4 f7, or what's next, bishop c5. That's the best continuation on this position. All right, to maintain this equal position, my fellow chessers. All right, but let's go to the real game, my fellow chessers, which is rook h8. Mistake. Rook takes h8, king takes h8, knight d2. What's the day of knight d2? To go here on c4 at the same time to attack this. So let's see, my fellow contestants. Rook f6, knight c4, attacking the pawn on e5 at the same time attacking the bishop on b6. Rook e6, defending the pawn on e5. Rook b1, all right, c5, rook h1. Check, my fellow chessers. Attacking the king on h8, king to g7, king to f2. Wow. Bishop a7. Knight takes a5 at the same time, attacking the pawn on b7 squares, my fellow chessers. c5, why c5, c4, why c4 to attack the king on f2, my fellow chessers. King to e2, c takes d3, king takes d3, rook d6 attacking the king on d3, king c4, rook a6 attacking the knight on a5, knight takes b7, rook takes a6 check, at the same time attacking the king on c4, b4, my fellow chessers. Rook a6, as you can see, rook d1 to go here on d5, something like that, to attack this, and at the same time attack the king on g7 and c7 squares. Rook c6 check, king to b3, bishop d4. What's the idea of bishop d4? To go here, rook to c3 at the same time to attack this pawn, at the same time to attack the king on b3. Rook d3, king to f6, c3, bishop f2, rook d7, rook b6. Mistake of Gukesh, my fellow chessers. The best continuation of this position is king to e6 or rook to e6, my fellow chessers, or bishop to e1 to attack this pawn on c3. But rook b6, rook c7, Gukesh resigned the game at the same time. This is a mistake. My fellow catchers, the best continuation on this position is knight d8. But as you can see, the evaluation bar here, white is winning, my fellow catchers, after rook c7, my fellow catchers. Gukesh resigned the game, my fellow catchers. That's all. To God be all the glory. Like, comment, and subscribe. To God be all the glory. Praise Lord Jesus Christ.